Hello everyone, it's Daniel aka Floppy Penguin here, and I have a really interesting video today for you guys. I have been making some patterns and just kind of having fun with it, learning a lot for the Kegel icon machine that we have over at Fusion Alley. And I'm really thankful, by the way, that we have such a nice machine and that I was able to get my hands on this software and be able to design patterns. So today I have a really cool video for you guys. I just designed a pattern this morning in the Kegel COSI software. Kind of show you guys a little bit sneak peek there. We'll go into it in a minute. And basically, I designed a pattern this morning and I'm gonna go test it at the bowling alley now. This is more of a tournament style pattern, just something that I've kind of been interested in, and something that I want to try urethane on, want to try resin on, try a multitude of different things and just see what happens and learn from it. Because a big part of what that I love doing is learning in any way that I can, and about bowling, anything with bowling. And so with this, I'm gonna kind of go bowl on it today, practice on it, and take that knowledge and tweak it a little bit maybe, and kind of see where it goes. I don't know, who knows, it might be a really good pattern anyways, but we'll see. So yeah, that's my goal for today, and I thought I'd bring you guys along for the ride. Okay guys, so I'm gonna kind of give a quick rundown here on what all of this kind of means. I'm gonna brush over it, and I'm planning on doing a future video, so subscribe for that, on how to read this entire sheet right here. So to start off, as I said earlier, this oil pattern is 41 feet long. We see that right here, and the reverse brush drop is at 39 feet. All that means is once the oiling machine goes all the way to the end of the lane and comes backwards towards the foul line, that the reverse brush, so that brush will drop and get ready to put oil down at 39 feet. And as we kind of go here, I'm going to skip over the oil per board. And now the forward oil total is the amount of oil that's put down as it's going towards the pin deck. And the reverse oil total is the total amount of oil that's put down as it's on the way back to the foul line. So as you see here, it has about twice as much forward oil that it does reverse. So now, if we look at the volume oil total, it's just these two numbers added together, real simple, it's just the total. And then we're going to ignore the bottom line there for all that. That's just the type of oil and that fancy stuff. So then let's kind of just take a look here. This kind of shows us the light blue is going to be our forward oil. The darker blue is going to be the reverse oil. And then the combined is this dark navy blue stuff right here, that big chunk right there. And so now if we look here in this area, this is very important. These are where your loads are. So basically this is telling the machine, the oiling machine, how much oil to put down on every single board, from the two board on the left side to the two board on the right side, every time it goes across the lane. So the oil head is what it's called, sprays oil for lack of a better term, and goes across the lane like this really quickly every time that it goes down the lane. And this kind of tells it exactly how much oil to put down and on what boards to put it down on, or where to put it down. So basically the first pass is going to be 2 to 2 from the left 2 board to the right 2 board, because it doesn't put any oil on the 1 board. And then it's going to go from 4 to 4 more down the lane. And as we see down here, something like this weird little rectangle that you're seeing here, you might have noticed that kind of looks strange compared to most patterns. Basically all that is going to be this 6 to 6 and then right there. So that 6 to 6 pass is kind of a weird chunk. That's just putting oil from the 6 board to the 6 board 2 times down lane, because it's those 2 loads. Typically, one note that I will make is if you have a lot of 2 to 2 loads, then it's going to typically be a more difficult pattern. Like imagine that we had more of them coming down this way, then those 2 to 2 loads are going to make it more difficult, because it's putting oil across the lane evenly from the 2 board to the 2 board. So it just makes it more flat. So as we see down here, the ratio, I'm just going to talk about this real quick. The ratio on this pattern is 1.02 to 2.36, or basically 1 to 2.36. So what that means is there is 2.36 times as much oil on the inside as there is on the outside of the pattern. So this doesn't make it a nearly impossible pattern. It's not, something like red square where it's 2 to 2 loads across the entire pattern and it's dead flat, 40 feet. That is a 1-to-1 ratio, where the same amount of oil is on every board on the lane. and a house shot is typically 1:9 or 1:10 ratio. PBA patterns are about 1 to 1.9 to 1 to 1 to ratios, and college patterns are usually a 1 to 1.5 to a 1 to 2 ratio. So those are very difficult patterns. This one I would say is a hair easier than something we would see in college, especially for exactly what I designed it for, and we'll get into that as I'm bowling a little bit. But I just wanted to show you guys this and kind of give a broad overview and kind of brush over a lot of it. Like I said, I'm planning on having a future video on reading this more in depth in the future, so subscribe for that. And I'm looking forward to testing this today. And I also have a very special ball that I brought up from home that I'm going to be throwing. That's a bit of nostalgia for probably some of you. So let's get to the bowling alley. There she is, the good old Amf Ultra Angle. I know it's got quite a few nicks on it. It doesn't have the greatest history, but I am the sole owner of this ball, which is very interesting. I got it brand new in its original box probably 6 or 7 years ago, and drilled it after I got it and shot a 779 scratch series with it at a tournament. I had an absolute blast. Did that in Plainview, Texas, of all places, and just absolutely love this ball. It is 16, so I don't throw it like ever, but I am going to be throwing it today. So a little bit of nostalgia, a little blast from the past. Very nice to see this baby come back to life. Here's the lineup for today. We've got a Black Widow 2.0, 2 purple hammers, a new one and an old one. We got Venom Shock, Zen Master, heck yeah, and the Obsession Tour Pearl, and of course, good old Mavericks. Check out my review on those in the corner of your screen right now. And then of course, we have the Ultra Angle sitting over there too. So one of the things that I wanted to create with this pattern is a look with urethane outside for a 41-foot shot. So I kind of tricked it a little bit on the pattern to see what I could do, especially with the lane surface here at Fusion Alley. And so I'm putting some fresh 500 on my new purple, and I'm gonna see how that it rolls after that. And kind of see how playable it is on the outside like I wanted to make it. So I've bowled on the pattern for about 20 minutes now, and I have discovered that it's really good, really playable outside, just like I was expecting it to be, just like I wanted it to be. And I am trying to use a little bit more surface to my advantage, especially with the older stuff like that Ultra Angle. The surface is really good at 1000. I tried resin inside around third arrow, and it was a little bit of a struggle, mostly because I created this buffer out so that if you miss right, it's really hard for the ball to come back. And I did that on purpose with the pattern to encourage people to play more right with a little more surface. I think that it worked really well.
So I'm really impressed with what I've seen out of the pattern. I really like it so far. There's a few tweaks that I think I might make to make it a little lower volume, just so you don't have to use so much surface, because 500 and 1000 look really good right now. But at the same time, being able to use like a 2000 or 3000 might be an advantage if I knock down a little bit of the volume total. But then again, that's all part of the tweaking of it and the minor adjustments and the testing of the pattern as well. And I think that I had a really good time working with this pattern. I'm going to continue to throw some shots on it, and I wanted to give you guys some more insight about what it is that I do around here. Just sometimes if I just want to have a little bit of fun with, you know, working with oil patterns, understanding them, learning is a huge thing that I try and do. I try my absolute best to learn from everything that I can in bowling, so I find it very important to do this. So anyways, guys, I do want to say one more thing, and it's a huge milestone for my channel. I got 500 subscribers yesterday, and I want to say thank you to everyone that has subscribed, and I want to keep growing this community. I think that it's going amazing so far, and I know that I haven't been uploading a lot because I've been so busy. I took a lot of credits this last semester, and now thankfully it's over, and I passed my classes, and now I can relax a lot for the next 2 weeks before I go to Las Vegas, and then I'm going to have a lot of content for you guys. I've got several vlogs from several tournaments that are coming out early January, so look forward to that. Thanks, guys. Be sure to subscribe below, leave a like, and a comment as well. Thank you, guys. Peace out.